And now, News Channel 10's 24/7 local weather first alert forecast, sponsored by Generator Supercenter of Amarillo.
Well, happy Friday to everybody out there. A first alert day underway for today due to some of the strongest winds that we've seen in quite some time all across the News Channel 10 viewing area. Your day track forecast showing winds sustained at about 40 to 50 miles per hour at their peak. That's probably going to happen right around lunchtime for today. This is a look at winds as of about 7 o'clock this morning. You can notice already strong winds across most of the region, and that's very early in the morning. We're not going to peak until about 12 o'clock later today. Sustained winds already at about 35 to 45 miles per hour. Already seen some gusts in multiple cities over 65 miles per hour. Clayton had a gust of about 66 at about 6:30 earlier this morning. A current gust as of a little after 7 of 55 in Amarillo, current gust of 61 in Dalhart. And so with those westerly winds drying us out for today, red flag warning obviously issued for most of the region. It will be absolutely essential to keep those fire safety tips in mind. We would absolutely love to go all day without a fire getting started. And then, of course, a high wind warning obviously issued for the entire News Channel 10 viewing area. As mentioned, sustained winds 40 to 50 miles per hour, gusting close to 80 at some points. And for the southwestern part of the region where the winds are going to be the strongest and where you're closest to New Mexico, a blowing dust advisory has been issued for today due to limited visibility, looking more and more likely due to dust being blown around throughout the course of today. So, with those sustained winds at 40 to 50 miles per hour up toward the Oklahoma Panhandle, easily topping out at 60 to 70 at some points. Just like I mentioned, Clayton already saw a gust of 66 earlier this morning, and widespread gusts of at least 70 miles per hour are looking more and more likely. And we're not ruling out that some localized gusts could exceed 80 miles per hour at some points throughout today. As mentioned, some of the strongest winds we've seen in quite some time. So a lot of things to keep in mind here over the next 12 to 18 hours. Secure those loose outdoor items or simply just bring them inside. Okay, today is not the day that you want to have any inflatables outside or anything like that because they will simply just be gone. Also, as mentioned, blowing dust reducing that visibility, and don't be surprised if you see some tipped over vehicles, especially those 18-wheelers that maybe have an empty truck bed. Those are most susceptible to being tipped over, especially on those faster roads. And then, of course, when winds are this strong, power outages are always a concern. So one more time, we are under first alert for today. We are going to keep a very close eye on how things develop with any potential wildfires that may start both here in studio and out in the field. We do have News Channel 10 crews that will be keeping an eye on things all throughout the day today, but we are going to see a cold front come through overnight tonight, and that's going to set for a much nicer weekend on the way with much calmer winds before we see those winds pick back up going into next week. Not as strong as what we're going to see today, but still noticeably breezy for the first half of the next work week.